If I ever lied to my teacher, I witnessed the backside of a ruler coming down hard and fast on my little white knuckles. That's a ruler. Yes, those were the good old days at Catholic school with Sister Mary Euphemia. Truth is paramount. It is essential in an orderly society. As a judge, I would instruct juries that if a witness lied about one thing, they could disregard the witness's entire testimony. This week, after Jay Carney said it was the Obama White House that made the decision to stop those White House tours, President Obama, in an interview with ABC's George Stephanopoulos, said that he never made the decision to close his house.
The White House made the decision that we would unfortunately have to temporarily suspend these tours.
This was not a decision that went up to the White House, but what the Secret Service explained to us was that they're going to have to furlough some folks.
But it's not the first time the White House hasn't been totally honest with the American people. Just last week on the release of illegal aliens.
As ICE made clear yesterday, the agency released these low-risk, non-criminal detainees under a less expensive form of monitoring. This step affected a few hundred detainees, as you know, out of the over 30,000 currently in ICE detention.
And yet this week, the director of ICE testified before Congress it wasn't a few hundred. It was really over 2,200. Now, though, the top law enforcement official in the nation would understand the importance of truth, right? The Justice Department, with Attorney General Eric Holder at its helm, wrote to Congress that the purchase and transport of over 2,000 assault weapons to the drug cartels in Mexico was done without its approval. And when the truth was told, Holder had to withdraw the letter, but then claimed he didn't know anything about Fast and Furious.
I didn't know about Operation Fast and Furious until the beginning parts of 2011.
So once you're caught in the lie, dead to rights, the lie changes to, I didn't know. Just like they didn't know Ambassador Stevens wanted more security. They didn't know it was a planned terrorist attack. And they didn't have time during those 8 hours to protect our men on the ground. They just didn't know.
I was not personally aware of any request.
We did not know.
And it was really over before, we had the opportunity to really know what was happening.
What difference at this point does it make?
So they didn't know? Or they just don't care. And if you can't lie and you can't say you don't know, then you do that old Washington two-step, it's not what it seems. And by the way, if any of you are worried about the economy, don't worry. Be happy. There's no debt crisis either.
We don't have an immediate crisis in terms of debt. In fact, for the next 10 years, it's going to be in a sustainable place.
With all due respect, Mr. President, saddling our children and grandchildren with trillions of dollars of debt is a crisis. Maybe Sarah Palin said it best when she said earlier today at CPAC,
Barack Obama promised the most transparent administration ever. Barack Obama, you lie.
Sister Euphemia, if you're still out there and you still have that ruler, I've got somebody for you.